Read it back. See.
Surrounded by income.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my Magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible. Catching, killing, I don't care. There'll be gold for whoever puts an end to this rat. If you see anything, tell me or my men at once. Otherwise, keep the hell out of our way. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. Elsa, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
Oh, great, a citizen. Can't you see I'm on a break here? What? Oh no. Poor Demori. Go tell Magister Raymond or Magister Julian immediately. They'll raise the alert. Go. Now. I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not...
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath. Oh.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because we must.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. My favorite one. I'm very good at what I do, see. I don't even need a sauce hound yapping by my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth. That is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelled on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. No doubt a trustee of Dallas is champing at the bit to see some action. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule, a beast of burden. But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up?
There's a moment of fleeting suspicion as his glove closes round the bones of your hand, but only a moment.
How very hard. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into... Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows, I pass on to you.
Time has come, my stitched-lipped lovelies. We set sail. Get on board.
Much business today.
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Yeah. Guess you're right.
Doubled over in agony, the shivering Magister spirit mumbles to himself, tightly clutching 3 golden stalks in one fist. Noting the attention, he straightens, revealing insignia spelling Kinnet, and a jagged wound spilling his innards upon the ground. He reaches a ghostly hand into your chest, and you become Kinnet, his memories flooding over you and replacing your own. Warmth, comfort. You are Kinnet, playing cards with your mates in a cozy barracks. You stagger to tipsy attention as a white-clad Magister commands that one of your troop seek a lost caravan. It's a one-man job, a job no man wants. Your sly-eyed troop leader holds out straws to you and the others. Who will investigate? You feel the short straw and hear them shout, "Kinnet!" You know what that means. A lonely traipse in the cold dark. You dawdle and grumble all the way, sobering as you find the overturned caravan. Massacre. Your lantern reveals ravaged corpses in every direction. Inhaling sharply, you smell a thick black stench you remember secondhand from the few void-woken corpses your troops have found. No. Kinnet's tears fall from your eyes as you recognize his beloved weapon master, lifeless. A dark thicket rustles to your left. A claw rakes savage stripes across your guts. As Kinnet dies, all goes black. Staggering back from Kinnet's deathly grasp, only your own blood now pumps. As your source flows into Kinnet, the straws in his hands disappear. He weeps with relief as his wound disappears in turn, and he is restored to the model image of a strapping young soldier. He looks around, then looks at you, and then he smiles.
History will remember.
The spirits of a Magister and a dwarf are locked in ethereal combat. Their vicious blows make no impact, yet they struggle on. Mid-snarl, the dwarf spies your presence and staggers back to address you.
Sorcerer! You must hate the Reds as much as I do, eh? Rightly so. Reds had sorcerers locked up tight in that caravan. And you know where they were sending them. You look like you've been there yourself.
The Magister lunges for the dwarf, his exasperation clear.
Anna, you saw it with your own eyes. You know sorcerers lure Voidwoken, and you know we'd all still be alive if you hadn't attacked our caravan. Before it all, Voidwoken stole the sorcerers along the cliffs, headed for Seven knows where.
Not to flip your flops or nothing, but 'tis more that my boss Lohan is against Magisters than for sorcerers, if you know what I mean.
The Magister snorts in disdain.
Lohan, I should have known. Sorcerer, if you want to stay alive around these parts, you'll stay far, far away from that walking vermin. Though, on the other hand, maybe you should go stand near him. Maybe the Voidwoken could take him out where we failed. Ha!
The dwarf eyes you steadily and silently, his mouth a straight line and his eyes like marbles of steel. The Magister shrugs.
Well, if I knew that, we'd have taken him out long ago. All I can say is, he's somewhere in Driftwood, and everything he touches turns into annihilation.
And who are you? Oh, never mind, no time. Hurry on in and gear up. There's a void woken right out the front door. Barring? He's still out there? Damn it, I told him to go back into We gotta do this fast. Let's get those bugs out of here. By the 7, I got all the fixings here for every kind of bomb, grenade, missile and shell you can imagine. Make what you want and then let's go! I got a boy to get back to.
Rather large for a cellar, isn't it?
Got what you need? I'll bring up the rear. Ready, set, squash!
Sorry didn't make it. I'm sure there must be a safety switch down here somewhere. I've spotted something. I've spotted something.
The turtle ambles in a slow circle.
I hear something scurrying around.
As you move to ascend the stairs, the skull at the top of the pile creaks around and gazes at you. Well, it seems to be gazing, but there are certainly no eyeballs in those
Why do you lurk in my cellar? Tell me now, and tell me true. Or face the consequences. You chose a poor place to stick your nose into. Now I have to stick it back out. Farewell.
How you holding up?
victory, you'll remember you Reds with more venom than even the Black Red.
Mama? What happened? What did you do? I thought you were going to help. It's my fault.
He stares past.
Mummy. How could you let them get her? Voidwalker are just... They're just monsters. They don't think. But you were supposed to help me.
He stands stock still.
Look who's come to join the party. Oh, but you do get around, don't you?
He takes a satisfied sniff and rubs his hands together. His lips stretch into a mischievous smirk.
comes to graveyards, I'm a kid in a candy shop. All sorts of goodies and gewgaws for the take. Coy? Why, I don't know what you mean. I'm as transparent as the spring sea.
He presses a forefinger against his chin and hums.
You're a savvy one. I must confess, I'm not just here for random baubles and whatnot. There's something my heart, such as it is set on. Well, that's the gold-plated question it is. I dare say you'll enjoy this story. Somewhere in this graveyard lies an object of tremendous power. Or so the legends say, anyway. Belonged to a family buried near here, the Surreys. I've been reading up on them. An ancient clan of eccentrics and oddballs. Fascinating people, truly. Old Joanna was the last. The poor, poor, poor dear. Had no money, no children, just this incredible heirloom passed down to her through the generations. Problem is, no one knows what this object is. Only that it's an astounding piece of work. Seems Joanna took its secrets to her grave. Rather literally.
His coy grin freezes.
I can recite each page from memory, but I've neither the time nor the inclination.
Tarquin sighs and his lips unfreeze. For a moment he looks almost modest.
It pains me to say, but you've talents in the adventuring department that I do not. This heirloom could prove valuable for both of us. It's a quandary, you see. I tried. I really did. But the servants that tend the graves, well, their master isn't so keen on me. He caught me nosing around and had those masked freaks chase me off. The spirits within are particularly feisty as well. Can't say why. I'm as gentle as can be. Alas, I am stuck. Beautiful.
He looks toward the...
I do wish I could wander inside. It would be nice to look up some old friends. See if they're in good spirits.
At first glance, the spirit seems much like its host. Hollow, detached, yet in its eyes you see something more ominous, something not apparent before. Agony. The spirit nods. and its face grows even more tortured. It is trapped. By what or by whom, you cannot say.
This spirit's as haunted as the graveyard it roams.
Here lies Phylan Surrey, whose family's generous patronage helped build these burial grounds, and who refused to be buried in the Surrey crypt. The lizard hums tunelessly, not a melody exactly, but more of a meandering murmur.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept. Lizards burned in lasting flame. Elven trees towards skies did aim.
The lizard hums tunelessly, not a melody exactly, but more of a meander.
10 spans under, humans slept.
She looks to your left with one eye, and to your right with the other.
It helps me remember where the dead go. Sometimes they don't stay where I put them. That's okay.
She smiles at you with the innocence of a newborn. The ensuing sun. The dog growls and...
I've spotted...
It's true what the old miss told me. Victor, she said, you can't gamble forever. It's only a matter of time before your luck runs out. Bless her heart. Ingenious scheme, I thought. Come to think of it, still do.
He chuckles a ghostly chuckle.
I think I'll take this one to the grave with me. Or, wait, you know what I mean.
What's this? I found something. These are lizard remains.
You there! Help me, please! Some thoughtless fool buried me in this grave to be left as fodder for the worms. The eternal fire burns in the lizard quarter of the cemetery. I beg you, cast my remains into the fire. Set my spirit free. I should have known your kind would seek recompense. Very well. Do as I ask, and you will be rewarded. Good. Now take...
The spirit gives you a tortured glance, then turns away to stare at nothing in particular. The statue gestures towards the heavens, a striking image amidst the graves and sepulchres. You are relieved of the past's nightmares and the future's burdens. All that matters is now.
What's that? It sounds like there's a battle unfolding nearby.
Safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now. Easier said than done, Peter. Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah. You suppose the Madisons will get rid of the Void Woken anytime soon?
To march against the ancient empire! Now they've got that Alicia's general in charge. What do they call her? The Axe?
I think that lunatic Siva is loose again. We won't be so gentle when we catch her this time.
Startled, the guard leaps backwards and reaches for her weapon. She locks eyes with yours before releasing the grip on her blade's hilt.
You shouldn't surprise me like that! Oh, I could have sliced your neck clean open. Rustling leaves no longer remind me of autumn. A songbird's call no longer makes me whistle. Now, they might signal a Voidwalken's attack. Have you ever faced a void walking? Then you count your blessings. If you see one, do not fire an arrow into it. Do not run it through with a sword. Do not pierce it with a dagger. Just run.
She remains in place, as rigid as stone.
Is there more? Speak up!
To march against the ancient empire!
Magister's dropping left and right. Can't say I'm shedding any tears.
Paradise against all the odds.
Hey, Broody, Nova.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
She looks at you. She looks at your hand. She looks back at you. Either the human is an imbecile, or that's not the correct response. The soft lines of her face fold into a warm smile. She sets the glass on the counter and pours you a generous portion.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. You and my Niles would get along. Nice to see an unfamiliar face. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. But it's been too long since I've seen him. A fine physician indeed. That's my boy. Some say all a growing child needs is food and sunshine. I say abstinence and chastity will grow him finer than either one of those. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niall's. Here, have a little something to eat. Niall, no one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste. Well, if he ever comes back home for a visit. Anyhow, what can I get you?
Same size and price for everyone.
What would I do without
The spirit of a magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand, the fingers of which have been sheared off.
My ring. Where's my ring?
The spirit pivots her wrist, staring at the fingerless hand, utterly, morbidly entranced.
I should have been more careful. She hacked at my sword hand first. I couldn't defend myself.
The spirit stares, absorbing your question. Finally, she points her fingerless hand towards the kitchen. The spirit's lips part, trying to form an answer, but it doesn't come. She forlornly, the spirit looks at you with the smallest flicker of realization.
I was still alive when she started cutting pieces off me. She wanted me to feel it. All of it.
The spirit inclines her head towards the spirit, ponders your question.
Oh, in many places. I feel my body in 100 moving graves. Warm.
Not right now.
The cook acknowledges you with a small bow.
Please, sir, you should not be back here. It's not safe. Ah, the stew. You should speak to Loverick if you want some. Please, I must insist you keep out of my... A ghost? Peddle your children's tales elsewhere. I have work to do. Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to... Sharp knife.
would
He
I
fixes
do?
you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your cloth, the weight of your bag. A moment passes. Then a smile creases his face, a smile carefully constructed to look friendly and authentic, a smile that doesn't reach his eyes.
Greetings, stranger. Looking to ease the pain of a decaying world? You're in the right place. Beers are ordered at the bar, but can I interest you in a nourishing bowl of stew?
He purses his lips. His fingers drum a pattern on his elbow as he assesses you.
I'm sorry, I mistook you for a different kind of person. I'm sorry. It's not really. You insult me.
A smile spreads across his face.
Now we're speaking the same language. So, let me ask you this. Across the world, who is renowned above all others for their exquisite lovemaking abilities? Well, isn't that a shame? Listen, my friend. There's no lover livelier than a lizard. And for, well, this is what's available.
He holds out his hand.
We don't have anything else.
Jump on the tall bridge, would you do it?
Valiant warrior against the void. Taken too early.
Elsa, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Away.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
What? Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time then.
You can stay there with the dirty lizards and Joe's mum until you're cured.
The dwarf looks you up and down, a scowl of repulsion on his face. He mumbles something about dwarvish decency under his breath and turns away from you.
Ain't no one been standing together since Lucian died. Ain't been no goodwill among your kind, or mine, or anyone else's since the Reds have been in charge. Glad to hear you say it. The day will come we'll overthrow 'em, you mark my words. Until then, I'll practice the art of gutting unspoiled fish. Fugitive? I don't think that's something I should be discussing with strangers. Because I don't intend to end up with me lips stitched together, that's why. No, I shan't be baited. I ain't saying nothing on the topic no more. I said no, and I'm...
I don't care if we tear this place apart plank by plank. We will find him.
You can't just charge in here and ransack my business.
About your business.
I have rights. You've no authority to storm in here like this.
We have the authority for missing Majesty. And if we suspect you're hiding their killer, try use the damn point.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is...
Please, where is it? Where is it? Sir, please, have you seen a small burlap pouch lying about? Blast! It's gone for good, I fear.
She rubs a hand over her smooth head, then suddenly looks up at you. Her great greenish...
There isn't any chance you could spare a moment to help me look, could you? I wouldn't dare ask it if it weren't terribly important.
Tears star her eyelashes.
I know. What the pouch? I really must find it back, or my master will... Magister Raymond. He bade me take the coins to purchase supplies for his journey, but I dropped it along the way. He's sure to think I stole it.
She tilts her head back and blinks back.
I'd never do such a thing. Never. Honest work.
She reaches out as though to shake your hand.
Terribly sorry.
Dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I. I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die.
Penny for a sick dog. A glance at the dog's miserable face.
What am I, dog's doctor? Putty for a penny, you can sing him a love song.
The dog lies there quiet. It flinches, a loathe. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal. The dog gives you a long, hard... The dog goes to... He licks your hand and pauses. Something about you doesn't taste right. But then he shrugs, barks at his master.
If I don't come visit your tongue, who will?
Bishop Alexander was slain by Seekers.
Picking anyone up that looks at them funny.
Taken too early.
Same as before, the spirit...
The ring. It was right here, on my finger. I remember it was warm. There was smell, cinnamon. She took my uniform. I heard it crackling in her hearth.
Against all.
Bark.
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about.
Any warmth in the cook's eyes drains away.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The cook maintains her stare, the tiniest hint of a sneer on her.
Prove it, or else get out. No, you sweet fool. The things you're insinuating about me, so don't you...
Belson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Away.
The Magister's...
What? Well, do you stop wasting my time then? Desertions? What do you know about desertions? But they slip away in the night, taking supply. Those tinkerers all look the same. Scruffy, gold-hungry, sly wretches. This one has a grey beard and a dark cloak, according to reports. When, not if, and you'll see for yourself in time, we'll make all of Driftwood come and see what happens to those who conspire against us.
Usher us to paradise against all odds.
The ring. Please find the ring.
The spirit looks at you with the smallest...
I was still alive. The ring. Please find...
The spirit doesn't answer. She just stares at you mournfully.
Who shall rise? Who gains the title?
A prim woman in a starched apron.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
Throw him in a hole for all I care. It's the great another sorcerer on the loose. I knew they should have cut off the meister's head and burned the rest. Gotta make sure it don't grow back.
Arguing with Mac is like giving medicine to the dead. He's as stubborn as a corpse and smells the part to boot. No wonder Papa Thrash gives him the stink any time he tries to go downstairs.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go.
He grins.
Lohan didn't tell me to let anyone of your description in, so why should I? You can't buy my phone. You can buy 10 seconds of me eyeballs examining the ground for, oh, let's say, a small fortune. You look like you'd be good for it.
He pockets the coin.
What's this? I found something.
Look at that.
What do you want? Boss is busy. Good. Boss could use some good news. Listen up. Don't waste his time. These are explosive times. Be respectful. Not here to chit-chat with the likes of you.
Come, Marla. You're one of us, ain't you? Tell us what happened.
I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own. This?
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anna? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper. Bart, Cade, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You better have a damn good reason for coming here. Brave lad, waltzing in here now. I hope for your sake you've got good news for me. You came into my house, bub.
He winces loudly and holds a hand to the bandage on his side. The large red spot in its center has grown.
No more was fair. No less either. So, how'd you make it out of Fort Joy? Why not? I love a good story. Here's one I heard lately. A group of strangers landed on the beaches outside town. Meistr Seaver's people. You one of her little seekers? Chasing down Godwoken and begging them to save us all? So? What do you want? Ah, I should have guessed. I could help you. But last I heard, you was working for the Magisters. Big shots at the boats. What a load of shit. Seaver's got an eye for talent, though. Maybe there's something to you. I reckon I could help you out, depending on what you can do for me.
He gestures towards the bandage across his side.
Had a bit of family trouble lately. My girl Marla got it in her head to come after me with a short blade. That ain't like Marla. Ain't like her to pull the silent treatment either. Something's got... And wouldn't you know it, that blade she used wasn't any normal bit of steel. Belonged to another of my people. Guy's name is Mordus. Bit of a loner, but smart as hell. I sent a few guys to go check on him, see if he knew what had got into Marla, but no one can find him. I'd like a word with the guy. Glad you see it that way. No one's seen him in a good few. I've got some people checking out his house near the tavern now, though. Tell them I sent you, and they'll let you know what they've found. Truth is, they might be glad to see you. Reckon a sorcerer will have better luck finding one of their own. Good. One more thing. Like I said, Mordus is a sorcerer. Maybe even one of the ones Seaver's after. If there's something you want to find out from him, you might want to ask before I have my... Here, you can take this off my hands. More suited to your kind. Good luck.
It's all right. I almost feel bad for you. Almost.
How you holding up?
It looks unassuming enough.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might miss... She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want?
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, human. Well, glad Lohan ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mordus has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs should sniff out something. That weird priest's been hanging around Lohan for ages. Now he's vanished. Those half-wits below will know more. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenn has sent you before they bash your brain.
Useful, I'd say. If we can't get ourselves out of here,
I found something. There we go. The door's opening.
By Duna's dagger. You here to free us or kill us?
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances happily at his companion.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an oil drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Mordus is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Lohan ain't gonna be pleased.
Ain't no telling where that priest has gone to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop. Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohan and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a day or 2. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohan down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence Mordus went hanging around then.
She taps a finger against her forehead.
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me. Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
This won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
Keeping it together, Reeve.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Got word from the factory that another boat went.
Come on, you.
May the seven usher.
You ran much longer.
Better get out there before Mordus makes it all the way past. I asked you for a man, not a note.
He takes the letter from your hands and reads it quickly, face hardening with anger as he reaches the end.
Bloody goddamn spit-sucking weasel! This is bad. Not just for me and mine. Not just for you and yours. This is bad. For everyone. Hell if I know, but it don't sound good. Seems as though Mordus wasn't mine after all. Trouble is, I don't know whose he is. Of course. That's why I haven't heard from the cave. Sabotage. Listen up, I need your help. We all do. Mordus has his hands on something dangerous. Something I was trying to protect us from. Not just my folks. The whole damn realm. Look, me and mine, we move classified cargo. Take it right off Magister ships and put it into the hands of those that will use it rightly. Trouble is, we came across something no one ought to have. Not the Magisters, not my folks, not the gods themselves. I ordered it to be destroyed. I guess Mordus, whoever he's working for, wants it for themselves. That can't happen. The less you know, the better. Trust me. Stop Mordus and I'll take care of it. My people had an operation up in the caves outside town. Good access to red ships and plenty of privacy too. Haven't heard from them in a couple of days now. I thought maybe we'd lost the messengers to Voidwoken in the hills, but now I think it's worse than I thought. I bet my lucky left foot Mordus is in the cave. You gotta get to him before he gets his hands on that cargo. Pray to whoever you pray to that it ain't too late. Finally, someone with a little sense around here. Give me your map. I'll show you where we were operating, where I think Mordus will be. I don't want to know what'll happen if he gets what he's after.
The battered dwarf pulls her lips back into a garish, open-mouthed grin, flashing blood-stained teeth.
What's got into you?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.